One of the things that, perhaps prevents us from being happy is because we are worried about being selfish if we put ourselves first. And we need to stop that, don't we?
We absolutely need to stop that. We need to be what I call being selfish in a really good way.
Did you push record?
Thanks for tuning back into Second Act TV. Diane Forster is back for another segment talking about finding happiness, one of your big platforms, Diane, right? Oh, by the way, welcome back.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, Diane, of course, is the host and founder, the creator of I Have Today with Diane Forster. She's a mindset and intentional living coach with all kinds of great advice that we can certainly use at this, this point here, what we're going through. As we said in the last segment, as we're recording this, we're still at the end of the pandemic and lots of other bad things happening in 2020. And happiness is a huge topic, and we'll link to our last segment where we started our conversation. Diane, what I want to focus on here is that one of the things that, perhaps prevents us from being happy is because we are worried about being selfish if we put ourselves first. And we've been raised with, with that notion that no, we, put family first, put this first, put our husband, everything first. We need to stop that, don't we?
We absolutely need to stop that. We need to be what I call being selfish in a really good way. Put the focus and the intention on you first and nurture yourself first, because you're really not good to anybody else until you do that. You're not giving all you want to probably give when you don't have it to give. So yes, it's very, very important. And you know what, Silke, we teach other people, including our children, how to treat us by the way we treat ourselves. And so if your relationship isn't going well, if the family dynamic's not going well, you have issues with in your career with coworkers or your boss or friends or any other relationship in your life, you need to go like this and look and say, what am I doing that's contributing to this? Because there's something there that you're going to find, and it's going to be illuminating. And I'm certain it's in the way that you are treating yourself, and you're not honoring yourself, setting healthy boundaries, nurturing yourself, and taking care of your needs first. So,
yeah. Well, and it's difficult for people to be around you when you are depressed and tired, and so you might be trying to do the best for everybody around you, but you're really not.
Right, you're not. And even the adage, it's just easier for me to do it myself, versus having somebody else do it. We need to stop doing that as well. But we suffer. We're the ones who suffer. We're the martyrs. We just take on more and more and more, and the plate becomes a platter, and it's like, just take on a bigger plate.
Yeah.
And that depletes us. So if you've got to be doing things every day that bring you joy, that fill that tank, for, lack of a better expression, but really fuel you and lift you up and make you feel good, make you feel alive, make you energetic and alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also perhaps change the way we view selfishness, because it's not a bad thing. What I'm trying to say is it's not to the exclusion of being bad towards somebody else. It's being good to us. That doesn't mean that we're, doing something that hurts someone else by being good to us first. I think that's one of the misconceptions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is. And so communication becomes key, depending on who you're speaking to, whether it's a spouse or a partner or a child or whomever it is. And you can just say in a very kind, respectful way, I love you very much, and I need to do this for myself. Don't do but. I love you very much, but I need to go and do this, because that just negated your love for them. It's not that way at all. I love you, and I also love myself, and I need to do this for me. So being able to communicate that in a way where there's no guilt, there's no shame, you don't have to take that on.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting. We had that conversation, that exact reference, don't use but, use and, because you just discredited everything you just said on another communication segment. So thank you for bringing that up again.
Of course.
I think the other thing with, when you're always putting somebody else first, you have an expectation, as I think you said it earlier, we start to get into this martyrdom, but the expectation of, well, why doesn't anybody ever put me first?
Right.
And when you put that on somebody else, you're always going to be disappointed, aren't you?
Right. So I should not do what I need to do for me so that I can please you. That's kind of messed up. Isn't that messed up? Like, there's something wrong there. That's a little wacky. Yeah. So when you say it that way to somebody, like, listen to what you're saying. And I'm doing this for me because it doesn't mean that I don't love you and want to be there for you and do for you, but I need to be doing this for me. Okay. So it's not a negotiation. It's an enrollment conversation. So enroll that person into understanding how important it is for you to do that for you. Yeah. But the first person you have to get on board with it is you. Mm-hmm. No guilt or shame about it. If you want to do something or need to do something, be selfish and do it. Mm-hmm. Find the time, make the time to have that happen. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that is so difficult, especially for women. I guess we've just, as we said earlier, we were brought up to take care of the family, to, always be the one doing everything, and it doesn't really serve us. Some of the research I read on this, I was trying to read a little bit, see what people are saying out there, and that was a trending thought, is that really your relationship is almost doomed if you're not selfish.
Right. Oh yes, I agree with that, because how can it be healthy if it's inequitable? If the scale is not balanced, it can't work. It just can't work. There's going to be somebody who's dissatisfied in that relationship. Yeah. And we know. And divorce rate is over 50, has doubled in the last 10, 15 years. So it's increasing. So we've got to nip this baby in the bud and correct it. Yeah. And be selfish and put yourself first. Because first of all, that also commands respect. It really does. You want to be in a partnership, in a relationship, and surrounded by people who respect that about you. So, yes, I agree wholeheartedly. When my kids were still at home, I used to get up at 4:30 in the morning, so I had time for my meditation and my journaling and my working out before I went to work. And it was a habit and a muscle that I built up because I valued that time, and it fed my soul so much. But then I had so much energy to give to the rest of the world. So where can you find these pockets of to be selfish to you in a really good way?
Yeah. In closing, what advice can you give someone listening, especially women, that just, how can I change now? How can I just, my family expects me to be like this, or my husband or my partner, this is what they expect. How can I just change all of a sudden?
Well, it takes a couple of things. You've got to be deliberate. So know what you want and why you want it. The what and the why are the two things you need to know. And if you know what you want and why you want it, then you're able to have what I just said, is in that enrollment conversation with them. Say, well, things are changing, and this is a part of life, and we're all, expanding, growing, and evolving. And I've been doing things a certain way for so long, and it's not serving me anymore. So I'd like to change things up, or I need to be doing this for me, whether it's whatever it is, going back to school or taking on a new job or a new exercise program, or whatever that is for you, that allows you to feed yourself.
Uh-huh. And hopefully get some of that, get back some of the happiness that's been eluding you. So, Dan, thank you so much. We will, of course, link to your YouTube channel, to I Have Today with Diane Forster, and, search. She has wonderful advice on this. Put that in the search bar, happiness, if that's something you're interested in, selfishness. And let's come back with one more segment and makes that communication process, how men and women communicate, and what men might want to understand about how we think.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
to help in that process, because we don't always get it right. That's for sure. Okay, Dan, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time on Our Second Act with Paige and Silka. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. The button is right over here. Just click on through to YouTube, and when you see the little bell right next to the subscribe button, hit that too. We'll notify you every time we launch a new video. See you next time.